We're making a nice healthy wheat loaf today. We're gonna add some flax seeds to just sort of give it a crunch and a seedy feeling. So here is what you need for your wheat loaf. What I have here is about 6 cups of flour, which is gonna give you 2 nice large loaves. And I've used equal mix of all-purpose flour or maida or white flour, as you may know it, and 3 cups, which is the second half of wheat flour, and I've added a tiny bit of baking soda to it, just about half a teaspoon. Yeah, so that's 3 cups of all-purpose flour or white flour and 3 cups of wheat flour with tiny bit of baking soda, and also there is about 3 teaspoons of salt in it. So that's your salt and flour mixture, the dry mix. Then we need about 2 cups of water, actually about 2.5 cups of water. You can always adjust it when you're making your dough, but start with 2.5 cups of water. I'm gonna add, and we need about 1 teaspoon of yeast. I like to use less yeast. Most of the times people for 2 loaves would use about 1.5 to 2 teaspoons of yeast, but I would like to go a little low, and my water is a little lukewarm, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get my yeast in there. You want to make sure your water is not too hot and not too cold. You just want it a little lukewarm. That helps your yeast to dissolve in it. So we're gonna let that dissolve, and while I'm waiting, I'm gonna add about 2 teaspoons of honey to it, 2 tablespoons of honey rather, and I'm gonna do a mix. You can add either 4 tablespoons of honey, or I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons of honey and 2 tablespoons of sugar, which I've already added to it. And if yours, make sure it's not too much sweetness. So again, you can adjust that based on the quality of your honey and your sugar. Sometimes it's too sweet, so go a little low on it. And we're gonna let that sit for about 10 minutes for the yeast to dissolve nicely. And after that, we're gonna mix this into our dry flours and make a nice dough. Okay, so the yeast mixture is ready, and we're gonna make our dough now. Just make sure you add water little by little, because sometimes it could be just too much and your dough might become too watery, very loose. So just keep bringing it together and keep adding water little by little. For all you know, you may need a little more. It all depends on the consistencies of your flour, your other ingredients, your measurements. So we're gonna be able to use all of that, it looks like. And I'm gonna actually need a little more water there. So I'm gonna do a quick, and some of my sugar is actually undissolved there, so I'm gonna scrape that and add about 1/4 cup of extra water. Alright, so that's the kind of consistency we get after bringing everything together. And now I'm just going to add a little bit of flax seeds to it. It'll give a nice touch to our loaf at the end. You can obviously skip it if you don't like flax seeds, or add any other kind of seeds you like to this, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, all of that. Or you can skip adding it to the dough and add it later when we start baking it, and I'll show you when we bake it how to do that. So this is ready, and we're just gonna sort of bring it together in the form of a ball. And so this is a recipe which does not require too much kneading with your hands, and we will do some bit of it when we come back after proofing our dough, but this is good to go. We're gonna cover it and let it rest for about 12 to 18 hours at room temperature, and then we'll be ready to bake our whole wheat bread. So here is our bread for the wheat loaf. It was sitting for about 14 hours, and I've just taken it out, and it was stubble in size. I've just taken it out and punctured all the gas bubbles, and we just want to fold it like that a few times on all sides. Now we're going to flour this, put a bit of flour on this and transfer it into our baking dish. I'm going to cut it into 2 loaves, flour and then transfer. So we want to be generous with flour on it. And remember, this is the side we folded it on, and we're going to put that up when we transfer it to our baking dish. So this is just going to make me nice big 2 loaves. So I'm going to just cut it into half like that. And here is my baking dish. Just going to grease it with a bit of oil. And make sure you grease it to the top, because your bread is going to proof again and double in size, and it's going to rise to almost to the top of that. Okay, so that's done. And I just want to get some flour on the bottom of my loaf. Okay, so that's how it looks right now. And now we're gonna cover it with a cling wrap and leave it for about 45 minutes to rise again. Alright, so here is our loaf that was sitting for about an hour actually, and it's nicely risen and proofed, so it's ready to go into our oven. I'm just going to score it. For scoring, you can use a blade, a cutter or a sharp knife, and use whatever design you would like. I'm just gonna do 3 slants here. So just go about a 1/4 inch deep. This is required for your air to pass, and otherwise your bread is gonna split and would have a lot of cracks on top. Yeah, so just like that. And now I'm gonna bake it at 220 degrees for about 30 minutes, covered with an aluminium foil, and then we're going to uncover it and bake at 200 degrees for another 30 minutes. Just check your loaf when it comes out after being covered, and see how long it would need. Sometimes the later 30 minutes uncovered could be 20 minutes, so you got to watch out for that. Alright, so this is ready to go into the oven. Okay, so this is how our loaf is looking after about 30 minutes of baking it covered. I've just taken off the foil, and I'm going to bake it for another 20 to 30 minutes uncovered at 200 degrees centigrade. So that's the final bread loaf after completely being baked. Looks beautiful, nicely golden color from all around, and it's slightly spongy when I touch it, but also crusty on the top. So that's exactly what you're looking for when you bake your loaf. Alright, so here's another wheat loaf that I did out of that dough that we had. A circular one this time, and this has been proofing for about half an hour. It's nice and bubbly. A good check to see if your dough is ready to go into the oven is if you press it, it should slowly come back up again. It should not come back up faster, and it should not come back. So this is perfect, and it's ready to go in the oven. Again, we're going to bake it I'm going to bake this one because this is not such a thick loaf. So I'm going to bake it covered for about 25 minutes at 200 degrees, and then uncovered for about 25 minutes as well at 190 degrees centigrade. Alright. Okay, so our loaf is ready and just out of oven. Look how beautiful that's looking. And a great way of testing whether your loaf is ready and baked nicely is if you turn it over and knock it like that. It should give you that nice hollow sound, which I hope you can hear. So this is the second loaf that's ready. I hope you enjoy this and bake some loaves at home, and let us know here in comments how you like it, what was your experience, and if there's anything else you did besides this recipe, experimented with something, would love to know.